Time to call to order the January 6th meeting for the Common Council. Can the clerk start with the roll, please?
Mayor Butterman,
I'm here.
Councilmember Mosher Campoli,
Here.
Councilmember Waltruso,
Here.
Councilmember McHugh,
Here.
Councilmember Leparshu, Councilmember Carson,
Here.
Councilmember Harrington,
Here.
Councilmember Marks,
Here.
Councilmember Matheson.
Here.
Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance. Good evening. Thank you all for being here for the first meeting of 2026. The agenda has changed a little since the last meeting at the end of 2025. And the goal, in my view, for these agenda changes are to ensure effectiveness of our meeting time and efficiency. This agenda format may change over time, so be ready as I learn how to do this job better and how to best manage our meetings so we can be as productive as possible. The mayor's remarks will be my opportunity to forecast the items on the agenda and, in a sense, set the theme for the meeting at hand. Also, I view it as an opportunity to confront the larger challenges that our community faces that may not be specifically itemized in the daily agenda, and I hope in doing so my role can adequately serve the need to help lead the council as a whole through the challenges that we face as a community. We are serving at a difficult time in our country. National politics always in some way permeate into local affairs, and I think we can all agree that the tenor of the national discourse does not assist us in delivering for our communities and to serve our neighbors. And I'm so fortunate to call Oneonta home and to know each and every one of you on this council. Some of you more than others, and I hope that through our service together, we will be friends outside the chambers, friendly inside the chambers, and always fierce advocates for the betterment of Oneonta together. We have been entrusted with a special leadership role, and I believe that we together can deliver for our community. I have been so inspired by your interactions as a council with each other that the poisonous rhetoric that often captures headlines has not affected this body. Instead, you each model the kind of statesmanship that I think our national leaders can learn from. And I hope my inclusion in this process will not be a detraction or a detriment, but rather will help enhance the collaborative ambition that has already been exhibited. People inspire me every day, and today I got to meet Charlie Zimmerman at the monthly lunch for the veterans at the Armory. Charlie is 94 years old, and served in the Korean War. He has been a lifelong resident of this area, not officially in Oneonta, but in nearby Davenport, and has owned and operated a plumbing and heating business for many years. His son, Steve, who sadly passed away in 2022, also worked in the business and was the youngest to ever pass the Master Plumber's test. Now, Steve's son and Charlie's grandson is operating the business. And today, I got to hear some of Charlie's stories of his experiences serving the Oneonta area. Like many veterans, Charlie's sense of service is deep in his bones and has continued after his uniform has come off. I believe Oneonta will continue to be the place where families like Charlie's will live and prosper, not just for years, but for many generations. And I believe the actions that we take as leaders of our city government will have a measurable impact on Oneonta's ability to thrive and be home for many more families to come. Now, as we get into the business at hand, I will continue to think about people like Charlie Zimmerman, the Veterans Resource Center, and the inspiring leaders like Gary Flaherty, the Veterans Resource Administrator, who are creating solutions and delivering on the needs that all together make Oneonta better and how we can help support them. Those are just a few examples, but expect more during my mayor's remarks at future meetings. So now on to the agenda. I want to start by saying thank you to Carolyn Marks for joining the council in the 7th Ward. Very excited to see your contributions, and meeting you has been a great pleasure, and I'm looking forward to working with you. The agenda starts with my introduction, which will be remarks as I just gave. The committee assignments, which I had sent to you last night, which are also available. Hopefully you have printed copies. There's been a few changes in the composite of the committee structure. As you're already aware, but just for discussion tonight, The Community Wellness Committee has been set aside, and in place of it, we've added negotiations and communications. The bolded name on the list there is the chair of each committee, followed by 2 members to serve on those committees. Some changes, and I'm hoping that the negotiations committee will be an area of opportunity as the city embarks on new initiatives that need to be negotiated and terms need to be configured in order for that contract or that initiative to take shape and to hopefully be successful. The negotiations will be a place for that to happen and for council members to have an early stage participation in that process. The communications committee will be tasked with trying to help formulate a strategic communications plan for our city. And the members there, Katie Leparchu, Don Matheson, Elaine Moshe Campoli, and Katie Leparchu will be leading that new effort. And the negotiations will be led by Scott Harrington, Len Carson, and Carolyn Marks. These are new, and like all new things, sometimes there's an adaptive period, and I hope that you'll work with me as we help make this structure productive and useful for the city government going forward. Next, the liaisons are down the sheet there. We can adjust those as we go forward. I talked to you about your interests and your goals in your service, and hopefully these align well with your experience and your interests. And like any employment, we can maybe adjust those as we learn from each other and as we work through different initiatives. Item number 4 in my remarks, I think you've seen a summary from Councilmember Don Matheson as far as the task force on waste management. He's already taken the initiative on talking to merchants downtown and trying to formulate some ideas that could be actionable for dealing with waste management, namely in the Water Street area, which will then hopefully, after that is resolved, extend to other areas in downtown. This is not yet ready for action on from the council, but Mr. Matheson's efforts have put us in a position where we can start to evaluate possibilities with some necessary follow-up, which we'll be working on. And hopefully, as it becomes ready, it's something that the negotiations committee will be tasked with as far as developing the actual actionable items that will come from that plan. So more to come from that, but hopefully that is something that will be of good service to stakeholders in the downtown area and will be able to resolve some of the issues related to waste management. Are the ends of my remarks for now. I do not promise a time limit on my remarks, but I do promise to try to make them productive and informative. Next, we're moving on to the public hearing, which is right here. Hopefully I'll read this correctly. The opening of the mayor's public hearing authorizing the city of the Oneonta to utilize cooperative purchasing pursuant to General Municipal Law, Section 103-16, as approved by the Common Council on December 16th, 2025. Is there anyone here that wishes to comment on this? Hearing no comments, we'll close the public hearing and move on to our next section, which is the petitioner's portion of the agenda. A change to previous agendas, there'll be 2 opportunities to speak. This is your first opportunity. If there's something that comes to mind later, you'll have a second opportunity towards the end of the agenda. At this time, if there's anyone that would like to speak and address the council, you'll have 3 minutes. Please start by giving us your name and your address. Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Mike Kermer, 20 Woodside Avenue, which I believe is 2nd Ward. I would just like to commend the Common Council for voting to increase the water and sewer rates. I know that may sound a little strange, but my follow-up to that, my question to the board is, are a portion of the increased fees going to a dedicated infrastructure fund, either a repair reserve fund or a capital reserve fund? And then second, has a master plan been put together for addressing the city's aging infrastructure?
Yeah, thank you, sir. Just a point of order and reference. Comments and questions may not be addressed directly from the council at the time, but I'm hoping that the right ears have heard them and you'll get an answer soon enough. Any other petitioners? Okay. If something comes to mind, you'll have another chance. We'll move on to correspondence.
We have none.
We do not have any correspondence. Another a change to the agenda is that presentations or other items on there, if there's, we will itemize the presentation that will be given, so you'll see what it will be. If there's none, then we'll write none scheduled. So at this time, there are no presentations scheduled for tonight. With that, then we'll move on to the city administrator's report.
Thanks, Mayor. A few updates. You've heard about this program before, the Micro Enterprise Program. New York State Home and Community Renewal has extended the city's current grant agreement with an additional grant award of $300,000. That gives us a new contract expiration date of July 30th, 2027. This is a program administered by the city's Community Development Office, and we'll hope to offer the next round of funding for applications within the next month or so. This is for existing and new businesses located in the city who have 5 or fewer owners and employees at the time of application. Grants are for $5,000 to $35,000 plus 10% owner's equity. Eligible costs include equipment, inventory, working capital, rent, and other business-related expenses. Construction is not an eligible expense. These funds must benefit low to moderate income persons, which could be either the owners themselves or the creation of at least one full-time equivalent position for a low to moderate income person. This is the 8th microenterprise grant the city's received since 2010. To date, the city has awarded 73 grants totaling nearly $1.5 million to very small businesses in the city. So we'll have more information in a public announcement of that, beyond what I just shared now in the coming month or two. Looking forward to another successful microenterprise program. We recently completed the CDBG single-family housing grant. We awarded 12 projects to low to moderate income homeowners at an average grant award of $34,000. Sales tax, obviously, as you know, this lags a few months behind. Most recently, we received October 2025. That was $466,000, which was just about $2,000 less than 2024. Year to date, through October 2025, we had received just over $5.5 million, which is about $114,000 more than 2024. Our 2025 budget was $5.8 million, which by the time we reach the end of that fiscal year, we'd expect to exceed it. And our 2026 budget is $6.3 million. The roundabout, I'm told, I haven't driven through it yet, I'm told it's open, lights are on, so that's a welcome sight. Snow and ice control, obviously this is just one of the things you see happen every day, every time the snow falls in Oneonta, but I just wanted to call your attention. DPW's used almost 700 tons of salt thus far this winter. Our annual usage is typically around 2,000 tons per year or per season. We have a shared services agreement with the Oneonta City School District. They've used about 110 tons. They store their salt in our salt shed, and we have an agreement where they pay a certain amount per year for that service. A few capital projects to call your attention to for this year: East Street reconstruction between Mary Street and Graduate Ave, which is the high school entrance. That is designed by engineering staff, is ongoing. We'll be coordinating with the school district to be talking about scheduling and the detour plan. Obviously, the entrance to the high school will be affected. We'll have a public info meeting scheduled at some point when we're ready, and we do anticipate construction this year. Sewer main replacement starting on Union Street, snaking its way down Yeager Ave to Center Street. That design's also ongoing. We'll have a public info meeting scheduled for that as well. Again, construction this year. Lawn Ave and Hill Place, we replaced water main last year. We'll be doing the sidewalk replacement this year. Washington Avenue, water main replacement will occur this year, and likely the sidewalk will be replaced this year as well, with paving to follow next year. Silver Creek under Main Street culvert rehabilitation. That's the culvert that runs under the street out in front of City Hall and through our parking lot. The section under the street needs to have a cap replaced. That design RFQ has been received. We're reviewing proposals, hope to hire an engineer and have design completed in 2026, and we're looking at construction likely being in 2027. So it gives downtown a little bit of a break, but there's going to be a significant delay and a detour required for that project when it is constructed. Route 23 and 28, complete streets improvements. That's the Lettuce Highway, Foster Highway, South Side improvements that we're in partnership with the town. Unfortunately, that project's been delayed in the design phase due to significant back and forth between our engineering consultant and DOT. We're hopefully going to be completing design early or in the first half of 2026. Construction bidding will follow. I'd like to think that we can still potentially construct that in '26, but that will be pending when we get the final design approval, whether that happens this year or if it ends up being in 2027. West End storage, water storage tank replacement. Engineering design is nearing completion. We plan to bid and construct that this year. In addition, that is part of our overall EFC project for water improvements, which includes several updates at the water treatment plant. That engineering is also nearing completion. We hope to bid that and begin construction in 2026. Park Street pressure reducing valve and water main replacement, also planning to bid and construct this year. And wastewater treatment plants engineering design is nearing completion as well, and hope to bid and begin construction of that in 2026. That's not all of our capital projects, but good overview to start the year. We'll have more updates as we go along. Obviously a lot going on, and a lot is kind of coming together this year, I think, and it's going to be a successful year. And to Mike's point in question, we do have a water and sewer as well as overall city capital improvement plan, or 5-year capital improvement plan. We update every year. We did a water system master plan in 2016, and we've been picking away at that. Obviously, these improvements were identified there. We have an I&I study that we'll be looking to conduct later this year for our wastewater collection system. So we continue to work on our plans to provide excellent services over time. So, any questions from anybody at the council?
I guess one, can you send us that report, because there was a lot to.
Absolutely. I'll make it a point to send this to council each time going forward.
I appreciate that. And then I just actually want to do a shout out for Chris Yagabuchi, besides overseeing all of that. The tree removal program on Kearney Street went very well. The dangerous tree was removed yesterday. The neighborhood celebrated it by the occupants building a snowman on top of the stump. And so thank you, Chris, for that. That was a very dangerous tree. Thank you.
Good, thank you. Yes.
Yes, I just want a couple of points and questions. First, I just want to share, I traveled to what will remain an unnamed upstate city and got stuck in a snowstorm. And the snow removal was not nearly as efficient or as wonderful as here in Oneonta. So I just want to do a shout out to use Len's words, to the Department of Public Works, and to thank them for their snow removal efforts so far this year. It's been really exemplary and amazing. So I also just want to ask, are the plans available, Greg, that you just mentioned regarding different capital projects, are those plans available online for the public to look at?
No, when we have a public meeting planned and scheduled, we'll be able to share some things online.
Okay.
Say what, an in-person meeting as well, but right now there's nothing available. So we'll announce when it is.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And then, again, related to the snow and ice season, you know, I agree, you know, the cleanup here has been great so far. I have gotten a few complaints in my ward of sidewalks not being cleared, so it's also a good time to remind everybody that the city sidewalks need to be cleared by 9 a.m., so I'll be following up on that as well. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Butterman. You're the first person to call me Mr. Matheson since I stood before a judge for an issue that I don't care to discuss at the moment. But I want to thank Chris for doing a great job of leading the charge of cleaning up the snow. Excellent job. I heard no complaints.
I'll just, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, has there been any issue with cars remaining parked on the secondary streets with snow removal, Chris?
There has been, but the police department has been issuing tickets. I don't know, Greg, if you have information related to that.
I don't at this time.
So no longer, I remember in the past, cars were towed down to Newell Park. That's not happening this year. as
No,
far as
we haven't done that in a few years now on a mass scale. We've really, I don't know, we've towed very many, maybe a handful.
Very few. Only when the roadway is completely blocked and we can't get the plow through, that's the only time we tow. Otherwise, if they're parked along the road, they usually kind of get plowed in and ticketed.
Enter.
Before I move on, I'll just register one complaint with the snow and ice removal, and that it has been so good that my kids complain they didn't get snow days. So there has been a complaint. I want you to be aware of it.
It's true.
Yeah.
I got one too.
Yeah, you see. You know it. Yeah. So, anything else?
That was all for me.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to the board's commissions. As noted before, if there's no item or report to be given, it will be noted as not scheduled or non-scheduled. So for boards, commissions, and task force, they are non-scheduled, same as for committee reports. Certainly that will be changing as we get into the thick of the business for 2026. For the next part, then, we'll be moving to the approval of warrants, and the motion, as I will read it, will be for consideration. The motion is that the Common Council approves the warrants totaling $844,052.82, and that the same be placed on the Finance Director's desk for payment as presented. Is there a motion?
Who are you picking?
Oh, do that again.
You're getting paid.
Ms. Carson got it. I feel like I see where the vote is going, but any discussion?
Nope.
Okay, no
Councilman-
discussion? Call roll.
Councilmember Mosher Campoli?
Aye.
Councilmember Walsh Russo?
Aye.
Councilmember McHugh?
Aye.
Councilmember Carson?
Yes.
Councilmember Harrington?
Yes.
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Matheson?
Yes.
Thank you. The next part for motions 2 through 14 are the consent agenda. Is there anyone that would like to remove any of those for discussion separately? Okay, then the motion is to accept the consent agenda as presented. Is there a motion? Mr. Matheson, thank you. And a second, thank you. Any discussion? Okay, no discussion?
Councilmember Mosher Campoli?
Aye.
Councilmember Walsh Russo?
Aye.
Councilmember McHugh?
Aye.
Councilmember Carson?
Yes.
Councilmember Harrington?
Yes.
Councilmember Marks?
Yes.
Councilmember Matheson?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so the discussion agenda would be for the areas of any item that may be needed to be removed from the consent agenda or any supplemental agenda. In this case, I provided the agenda to you, I think it was on Friday, but then yesterday an issue came forward that needed to be addressed at this meeting, and so we've added it as a supplemental agenda. This motion, why I couldn't wait to January 20th, is because action would have to be taken before the 20th in order for the prices that are discussed in this motion to be available. So that's the reason why I've added it as supplemental and not waiting for the January 20th meeting. The motion, I'll read it and then we can do discussion. It's number 15, the motion that as a result of the piggybacking off of Onondaga City Contract number 0010808, the Common Council authorizes the purchases of 3 2026 Ford Utility Police Interceptor all-wheel drive, or AWD, in the amount of $48,858.83 each, or a total of $146,576.49, recognizing that 2 vehicles are included in the 2026 budget funded from the Public Safety Reserve. And the Common Council further authorizes the purchase of the 3rd vehicle to replace an unmarked police vehicle that was deemed a total loss by the insurance company as a result of the city vehicle being struck while parked. And the Common Council further authorizes a budget amendment for the purchase of the 3rd vehicle to be funded by the insurance proceeds, estimated to be approximately $26,000, and the balance thereafter from the Public Safety Reserve. First, I'd like to have a motion. Mr. Matheson, thank you. Second? Ms. Marks, thank you. And discussion, before our discussion, I just want to make a couple of clarifying remarks on this. You may have heard about the car accident involving the 1 vehicle. It was the chief's vehicle that was struck while it was parked. And I did not see the estimate of the damages, but the photos were pretty telling. It was a pretty substantial strike totaling the vehicle. The amount that is referenced here is $26,000. Is not an accepted amount yet from the insurance, but it's an estimated insurance proceeds. So in my view, there's probably still some back and forth required with the insurance company before that number is settled. And we're not gonna negotiate it down. We'll push that number up as best we can. And so then that number will be precise once it's finally adopted. So with that, hopefully a little bit of clarification. And now, discussion. Yes?
So the $26,000 is to purchase the vehicle, but will it need additional items added to it?
Yes, that's correct. The $26,000 is essentially recovery from the proceeds of the vehicle that was damaged. The price of the vehicle is not $26,000, it's $48,858.83. It's a 2-year-old vehicle, there's gonna be depreciation in those things. That's why I said the $26,000 is essentially not a settled number. It's a number that's gonna eventually reflect the actual cash value of the vehicle, plus any enhancements that were required for its usage as a police vehicle. So, does that help?
An estimate of how much that will be?
Of the final proceeds? No, maybe, yes.
To
Ms. Lee, yes.
upfit the vehicle right now, the estimate is about $13,000. I do not know if we'll receive all of that from the insurance proceeds. Central Garage has removed what they can from the damaged vehicle to put into the new vehicle once we get it. So all 3 of these vehicles will have upfitting to them. 2 of them will be about $13,000 apiece, the other one will be $26,000. And if we need another budget amendment after all the final prices come in, we'll bring it back to council.
Thank you.
So insurance proceeds have to take into the account the costs, the actual costs related to a particular vehicle. So in this case, since it is a unique vehicle, it's not a regular Ford vehicle, it's gonna have other costs, and so that $26,000 will change. Yep. Yes?
Yeah, so what we're being asked for here, the 2 were already planned for, it's the 3rd one that was total.
That requires the
that is
adjustment.
the additional one.
So
Okay,
you
thank
can look
I
at it
just
as
wanted to
we're asking to put more money to purchase the vehicle, which is necessary, but then we'll receive insurance proceeds eventually, which will bring that number down.
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
Sure. Mr. Merzick?
If I could ask a professional question,
Mhm.
Mayor,
Uh-oh.
is it your intention to sign the local law that we had the public hearing on?
I believe it is.
The reason is because that's a precursor to allow us to piggyback.
Okay, yes, I will sign that.
Thank you. In that case, pass a resolution with New York State passed a law that we now have to have this provision in place in order for us to piggyback on other
Understood,
municipalities. So we're kind of so if you're gonna sign it, we're all.
It is my intention to sign that.
Good.
Yes.
Please do. Thanks.
Other discussions, questions, comments? Yes, Mr. Carson.
It's probably gonna go to Jenny, but what would be the remaining balance on the public safety reserve after this?
You're right, it will go to her. Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't have that with me.
Okay.
I can run downstairs and get it if you would like.
It's okay.
You had a question?
Just a point of clarity. So this vehicle, the 3rd vehicle, has yet to be purchased. The current motion before us is to proceed with that purchase.
Yes, it's adding it to the other
Yes,
2.
yes.
So we'll have to buy 3 as opposed to 2 vehicles.
Yes.
Good question. Any other? Okay. Okay.
Councilmember Moser Campoli?
Aye.
Councilmember Welch Russo?
Aye.
Councilmember McHugh?
Aye.
Councilmember Carson?
Yes.
Councilmember Harrington?
Yes.
Councilmember Marks? Councilmember Matheson?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Now, if I have my order correct, we've moved. Okay, now we're on to the council roundtable. And I'd like to discuss, the idea of the council roundtable that I've added to this agenda is trying to create a catch-all for areas of discussion that may be necessary, that may not be clearly itemized in the agenda above it. Because there's other things that are going on that you are participating in or discussing or considering. And I want, if it doesn't necessarily align well with another agenda item, I don't want you to try to fit it in somewhere. We always have a place for it. So if there's there is a asterisk of an item I want to discuss here, but this is your time. Yes?
So is this where like we just can have free flowing discussion, or is this where like you have to be like, Len, Elaine, Shannon, like do you have to call on each of us, or are we allowed to just discuss?
I'll try to, you have the floor at the moment. You can use it. So if you have like
Okay.
questions that you want
Roundtable just
answered,
sounded, okay.
or comments that may not, or reports of things that may not align well with other areas, this is the opportunity. So you can take this opportunity to say something, ask something, and then when your time's up, either I can respond to it or another council member can respond to it. It's meant to be, in a way, conversational.
Okay.
Do you have anything like?
No, that
to
was
discuss?
just,
Okay.
it's different from Mark, who wanted
Right.
to like call in every way, and I think it stifled discussion between us all.
Well, I still got the hammer, so at times, but my goal is that the exchange can happen because sometimes you need to exchange certain things that aren't necessarily on the agenda, and I want there to be a place for that to happen.
Okay.
Anyone else want to add? Okay. Well, I hope you use this time as we move forward. There is an area here, there is a submission of a 30-day advance notice to the local municipality liquor license of new liquor, wine, and beer cider has been received from JMJ Hospitality Group, doing business as 18th Ward Brew Pub for the property located at 357 Chestnut Street. Any comments, questions, concerns expressed in this time will be compiled by the clerk and then forwarded on to the State Liquor Authority. So this is your opportunity to ask any questions, state any concerns, for those to be memorialized and then forwarded to the SLA. Any comments, questions, or concerns that we need to send along? Okay. Other roundtable we want to
Can I jump in
discuss?
there for a second?
Yes.
Usually what the applicant wants is if there are no negative comments, then we notify the ABC, and that way they'll waive the 30 days.
Okay.
Right.
Instead of commenting and then waiting the 30 days before they'll process. So if there are no comments, then we notify them that the council has no objection
Okay.
to them. If that's what we're gonna do, I just wanna make it clear that that's what we're doing here, if we're doing it that way.
Okay, so then having heard no comments or concerns in the negative nature, we will report as such to the authorities so they can waive that. Okay? Yep. Okay, moving down. Now we're on to the second opportunity for petitioners to address the board. The second area is that, as we're discussing business roundtable, that may spur some ideas from a petitioner that may not have otherwise thought that they would like to speak tonight. So here's your second and final opportunity on January 6th to address the council. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Okay. Hearing none, I don't think there is any need for executive session tonight, is there? All right, there's no need for executive session. This meeting moved quickly. I don't set expectations based on this.
Scott, I think he beat you. Scott had the shortest
That
meeting
might be,
previously.
we're gonna have to do comparisons.
But
I'm dethroned.
so we'll conclude the meeting. We'll stand adjourned. Thank you all for the first meeting. I'm looking forward to meeting you in the next subsequent meetings. Have a good night.
Okay.